So I did work experience. The only options to us as students were to do things. So I did 2 weeks work experience. 1 week I had to do what the school wanted me to do, which was I worked in a Robert Dyer's, which is a basic generic hardware store. It was awful. I've never worked in retail. Like, I'm a people person, but I'm a people person for people within the rock community. I'm not good with just the general public people. So working in retail for a week made me decide that there was no way on earth I wanted to do that. Although there was a good bit where we got to smash up all the goods that were all the goods that were faulty. So to send them back, you have to smash them up. That was fun. Up the punks. And then the second week, I went and did my work experience at Metal Hammer, and it totally changed my life. It was, I always say, it's like if you wanted to play football and getting to do your apprenticeship, going to Real Madrid for the week. I learned so much just that week, and I was very lucky to be surrounded by people who went on to do some incredible things. I mean, Dan Silver, who was, I think he was deputy editor and features ed at the time. He is now a publisher at The Sun. Chris Ingham was news editor, who until recently he was publisher over Metal Hammer and Classic Rock, and was MD at Team Rock. I was lucky to be surrounded by some very brilliant people. And yeah, the bug was instant, man.
Is that when you realised that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I wanted to be a football commentator before that, which is amazing because I would have been so horrifically biased. And besides, imagine this voice on football commentary. Do you know what I mean? Oi, oi, chitty, chitty, bang, bang. God, I haven't thought about this for years. I walked in and they were playing Rancid's Life Won't Wait album. And the bloke, I walked in, I was sat there, they kind of just went, sit over there for a minute, it's Monday morning, they don't want to deal with the work experience until they have to. So I was just sat there, and one of them turned around and went, do you like this? And I kind of, in a weird, odd moment, I kind of froze in a kind of, and the news editor turned around, Chris, and was like, I don't fucking like it, so don't think that you have to say that you do. And I went on a rant about what I like about it and why I thought An Outcome the Walls was better. And so that whole week, I was a right little shit at school. I was always in trouble, and my geography teacher came into London for 2 reasons, right? One was to make sure that I was actually there, right? For fuck's sake. And 2 was to make sure that they didn't want to end my life. And so my geography teacher turned up on a Thursday, and I was getting on with everyone like a house on fire. I made a real impression, I think, because I was so interested in the business and I was hands-on and I wanted to do stuff, which you'd be surprised, man. As someone that's worked in an office in this business, the amount of people that just get there and are just so, like, nonchalant and flippant. It's like, if you're not going to grab your opportunity, man, no one's going to come and knock on your door. So, like, I was a print journalist for 4 or 5 years, and I'm an all right writer. I think I've got a distinct style that's mine, which is to my taste. I would rather read someone who has character and personality and the opinions and the ability to make a reader emote than someone that knows long words. Long words, long schmads, who cares? But it was when we started doing the Metal Hammer podcast. So we started doing the Metal Hammer podcast because my partner at the time, Gil, not my lover, just my partner at work. He kind of fancied himself as like wanting to be a like star, and so he wanted to do the Metal Hammer podcast, and so we did it, and we had no idea. We had absolutely no idea like how popular it was going to be, how good it was going to be, how different to everything else it was. It just kind of became it was totally organic. But when people started gravitating towards us and with the social media side of things, The audience are letting you know how much they value your opinion, because they will come and talk to you about things, and that's when you know you've got a voice, because people care about what you have to say. And the beauty of what we're doing with That's Not Metal is we're saying the things that other people are frightened to say. It's a very funny time in the media at the moment. But yeah, when I first realised I had a voice was when the Metal Hammer podcast started kicking off. And it was, until I started That's Not Metal, it was always, despite the fact that I've done, like, quote-unquote bigger things, the Metal Hammer podcast was always the thing that I was most proud of for that reason, because that's all I ever wanted was a voice. I'd never done telly until Scuzz Meets. Like, it's totally, like, it's something I fell into. Like, there was no grand plans, which is funny, because when you work in the media, you meet a million people that are desperate to do the kind of things that I've been lucky enough to do. But it was never a plan. Like, but I'm better at broadcasting than I am at writing. At writing, I've always felt inferior to, I mean, there's some fucking mind-blowing writers out there. Like, or there have been over the times. They're a bit thinner on the ground now. But broadcasting was something I felt comfortable in. Like, I don't meet people and go, oh, I'm not as good as that person, because I'm a naturally competitive person. I think you have to be in this industry. But broadcasting was something where I was like, this is what I'm best at. I can still write. I love writing. I've had some wonderful opportunities given to me through writing, but broadcasting is what I'm best at, I feel. So when we brought back That's Not Metal, and it went in on the iTunes music chart at number 1, above Nick Grimshaw, who does fucking X Factor, and Graham Norton and stuff. We've been consistently in the top 10 since, and it went in at number 11 on every podcast on iTunes. It's recorded in my front room. So I think that the podcast format is something that is catered to rock and metal. You know, we're all opinionated people. Like there's a really famous Rob Zombie quote that I love that is like, I've never met the guy that was into Slayer one summer. Like, when you're in, you're in. And we're all passionate about it, and there's all these views and opinions, and like, it's a blessing to be able to do it every week. Like, we enjoy making it as much as you guys enjoy listening to it, and I think that's what makes our podcast great. Is it doesn't feel like work. Like, that's what everyone should want out of life, is to not have to get up in the morning and go, or get to Sunday night and go, oh fuck, I've got to get up in the morning. Like we're very lucky. But yeah, podcasts rule.
It feels That's Not Metal feels much more DIY and much more.
That's what we were going for.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we were going for. It's a conservative time in the media where, so I'll tell you, I won't say the publication, but no one will ever tell you that you have to be nice to bands, right? They will never outwards go, oh, like, they're a big band and we need the ad money, so be nice to them. What they will do is they'll send you the album review, and if you send your review in and it suggests that the album is cack, then they will just not print it. They'll get someone else to write it. They'll give you a reduced fee, which is a kill fee, and they won't give you big albums again because you're a loose cannon or whatever. Viva honesty, right?
Yeah.
So that was it. So That's Not Metal is a fucking giant middle finger to that. That's what we're here to be. We're here to watch the industry over there and to kind of be on our pirate ship going.
Yeah.
And we're not reliant on ad money. So the industry can do nothing about us. Nothing at all.
It's actual criticism.
It's honestly, I don't even think it's criticism, because we're also bigging up things that other people aren't. It's not like we're just doing it to slag things off. We're doing it to grab bands that aren't getting mainstream exposure. I mean, it's what I think people want. I genuinely don't believe that the world wants a sea of these clean-cut, middle-class rock bands making polite music for polite people. If Guns N' Roses were polite, they would never have been Guns N' Roses. The biggest problem is the people at the top are unwilling to move with the times, I feel like their ideas and their ideals are antiquated. And the way that I describe the people at the top of the music industry is like monkeys with an N64 cartridge trying to put it into a PlayStation 4 and not understanding why the game won't play. Like, that's what's wrong with the music business. Like, endless reams of the same bands and like, question anything that's young and comes through, but yay, Iron Maiden, like, they're all going to die. And then what are you going to do? No one's looking at this problem. When in the next 10 years, when the Ice Age comes and there's no Metallica, no Iron Maiden, no Def Leppard, no Bon Jovi, no fucking Motley Crue are on their final run, just pick them. Sabbath are on their final run, Judas Priest, all of these bands that you see at the top of festivals and on the covers of magazines are not going to be here. Then what? So why are you not planning for the future? I think that the music industry at large is packing a bathing suit for the Ice Age. Because what are you going to do? I'll tell you what's like. If you'd asked me this question 8 weeks ago, I'd have gone, no idea, man. Like, I don't, no hope anywhere. But the inspiration of the audience for what we've done with That's Not Metal and that Employed to Serve. So we put out, just for anyone who doesn't know this, like we did our first podcast. We did 10 bands that were the noteworthy releases of the year because we were starting in September and we felt like the need to kind of reintroduce ourselves. Here's 10 noteworthy records, right? 5 I picked and 5 Steve picked. Steve picked Employed to Serve, and Employed to Serve sound like a goat being thrown into a combine harvester. Like, it is angry, aggressive, nasty music with no punches pulled. And on a week where included in those albums were As It Is, who have got like a YouTuber who's got hundreds of thousands of viewers and all that kind of thing, and Bullet for My Valentine and Lamb of God, and like big, massive bands. The biggest response we got was for Employed to Serve. And it's the industry aren't serving people. It's not that people don't want it, and that was inspiration bottled. That we could just go, well, it's not the audience. Because, like, you can lose faith in the audience. Like, really? That's the band that you want? That's the band that you're making popular? But I believe that people want stuff like Employed to Serve because they told us so, and that's what That's Not Metal is. And that anyone out there with a good idea can start something. I mean, we're lucky, man. Like, I'm not going to pretend like it's like, oh, we woke up and had this. Like, people know we both are, so we've got a starting, like a boost up. But I'm telling you, man, a good idea can sieve through everything. We're going to be such a pain in the arse for this business, and it feels so good because it's being done for the right reasons. So the best thing about the industry is anyone can change it. Anyone with a good idea who can tap into what people want. There's no reason why a good idea can't upset the apple cart, because that's what we're doing.